It's August 18th, 2023. The Los Angeles Angels are about to host the Tampa Bay Rays, holding as hard as they can onto their playoff chances down the stretch. They're coming into this game with a brand new first baseman, Nolan Schanuel. This is historic, not just because it's Nolan's major league debut, he just became the fastest offensive player to reach the major leagues in almost 50 years. He was drafted just 40 days ago. He was playing college baseball for FAU less than 3 months ago. This does not happen. Nolan Schanuel completely rewrote the script of minor league baseball and bull rushed his way to MLB. Every player you see in Major League Baseball right now has more professional baseball experience than Nolan. And almost every player in MLB either came from a long minor league journey or had experience playing in a professional league in a different country. Not Nolan, though. The Angels had a history brewing of bringing their top amateur draft picks to the major leagues quickly, but this was just insane. And lucky for all of us, I may or may not know Nolan.
So, a year ago, we're both part of the FAU baseball program. I'll be honest and say I didn't expect you being in the big leagues before your fourth year starting coming. Did you?
It kind of came to me as a shock. Going into it, I knew the Angels program moved their prospects up a lot quicker than others. Earlier in the year, Zach Neto being moved up in April was a shock to everybody, and just seeing that kind of gave me, I wouldn't say hope, because this is what I do, this is what I've worked my whole life for, but just kind of like a goal to set, and to be able to accomplish that was amazing.
So, any player making it to the major leagues is special, and a whirlwind of emotions. Being called up in a little under 6 weeks, when even the best case scenario minor league guys usually spend 2 or 3 years at least, has to be a completely different ride. Question had to be asked though. What was the ride like from finding out he was going to be a big leaguer to actually stepping on the field?
So much going on in that one day. We just got done with the game in Mississippi. Get done at like 10:30 p.m., get back to the hotel. Just chilling in my room, whatever. I get a text from my manager, come to his room. I'm like, all right, what's this for? Something's going on. I didn't want to get my hopes up, but just felt something kind of was brewing. He told me it was midnight at the time. I stayed up till like 3:30 a.m., 4 a.m., calling my parents, trying to book them flights, calling family members, friends, everybody, trying to get them out there. And 6 a.m. flight the next day. I had four shirts, 4 pairs of shorts, and I get told that I need to have pants to go into the clubhouse. Like, it's a big rule. So I meet my girlfriend's parents, and her brother was there with them. I borrow a pair of jeans from him. I get on the plane, get going, and I show up. I haven't slept more than 2.5 hours. It was also crazy. I get to the field, meet everybody, trying to like stay calm. Adrenaline's pumping throughout the whole day, and first pitch happened, and kind of all went black.
If it sounds like we're breezing through his time in the minors, we are. That's because he did. There isn't much to say other than that he was barely there, and he showed the Angels enough to promote him 40 days after he was drafted out of college. As if Nolan didn't have enough of a reason to be nervous, he was all set to lead off for the Angels. Hitting second behind him, Shohei Ohtani. Only the unquestioned best baseball player on earth. And to make things more interesting, Nolan had never led a game off before in his career until this. Not in college, not in the minors, nothing.
Batting leadoff, just something I wasn't used to, and looking behind me was Shohei Ohtani. It just, seeing that just kind of added to the fire.
He's being thrown right into the fire, though, to start his big league tenure. And he still wasn't fully comprehending the experience yet.
I was in the field and still like just blacked out. Like couldn't tell you what happened that first inning. I could tell you what happened after my first at bat, and just after that first at bat, it felt, I wouldn't say 100% like myself, but more calm and like, this is it. Like, kind of, I made it feeling.
Looking bad on a strikeout is very unusual for Nolan. He's best known for his plate discipline, which peaked in an absolutely unbelievable strikeout to walk total in his last year at FAU. 71 walks, 14 strikeouts. He had more home runs and hit by pitches than he did strikeouts. That is just like impossible. He did keep that skill going in the minor leagues before this unprecedented at-bat in the majors, walking 21 times to just 10 strikeouts. That was in 97 minor league plate appearances. If 97 plate appearances feels low, that's because it absolutely is. That's only 15 more than Walker Buehler had in 2021, and Walker Buehler is a pitcher.
My first at-bat was definitely welcome to the big leagues. I get up there, and I'm like I said, it's like an out-of-body experience. I'm sitting there, like I gotta hit a fastball. Like there's nothing else that this guy could throw me that I'm not gonna be able to hit besides a fastball. That's what I was sitting. I didn't see a fastball the first at-bat. I looked goofy on 3 changeups, a curveball. I was just everywhere in the box. I couldn't sit still.
His second at-bat was where this story starts to go from cool to just unreal. He shows off his eye with some impressive takes to work the count to 3 balls, 1 strike. He fouls off a couple tough pitches and takes his walk. With 2 outs in the bottom of the second inning, this might not feel like the biggest thing.
Whack.
But when the best player in the world is on deck, that is just huge to extend the inning for him. And then, the best player in the world did as the best player in the world does.
Scored in the first. Swinging a drive out to right field. That one's got a chance and it's gone! Grand slam! Shohei Ohtani!
Think about it like this. Shohei Ohtani got to hit a grand slam to roar an Angels crowd hoping to see their team keep playoff hopes alive because a 21-year-old kid in his second big league at bat was advanced enough to not go down on some impressively located pitches. That was just the start though, because Nolan played really well. If he had kept up his pace for a full season, he'd have been elite at expected batting average, making contact on the sweet spot of the bat, avoiding chasing pitches out of the strike zone, or swinging and missing altogether, drawing walks, and not striking out. Again, he was in college like 80 days before he reached MLB. Now, he's been teammates with guys who have accomplished a ton in their own careers while he's just 21 years old.
Like it all changed. I was just working to get on base. I got Shohei Ohtani, Mike Trout batted behind me one game. He was back, and I was just Drury, Moustakas. Like that's my goal. I'm getting on for these big guys to hit me in.
Talk to me about your first big league experience being with those guys.
Yeah, they're all awesome. I mean, coming in, I'm 21 years old, never experienced a spring training, and they come up to me right when I get to the clubhouse and welcome me. It's definitely a lot different because all those guys are a lot older. They got families. I'm coming in just straight off the street. Like I'm going back home to the hotel. Nobody there, and they got families to go after. So it's kind of like everything that happens is in the clubhouse. And just Moustakas was a big guy for me. Just took me aside and really like calmed my nerves and just reminded me that it's baseball. Every day you get to the field, it's the same sport I was playing since I was 4 years old.
Here's a really fun stat. There were 5 players in MLB this past season who had at least 20 walks and more walks than strikeouts. Juan Soto, Alex Bregman, Luis Ariz, Tony Kemp, and Nolan Schanuel.
God.
His plate discipline managed to translate from mid-major college baseball to Major League Baseball in the same season. His first baseball game of 2023 was against Monmouth University. He finished 2023 having gotten hits off of like Craig Kimbrell and Pablo Lopez. And that's no disrespect to Monmouth University, by the way. I'm not throwing shade at his competition at all. I grew up in Monmouth County, New Jersey. I'll defend Monmouth's honor like Silvio defended Columbus Day. But to go from that to success against dominant big leaguers in just a few months, unbelievable. And something a hitter simply has not done before, until this. And I'll do you one better about how successful he was against Major League pitching. WRC Plus is a stat that tries to condense all of hitting into one number. Getting on base, hitting for power, everything. 100 is always average, no matter what. Nolan's MLB WRC Plus in 2023 was 112. He was a noticeably above average major league hitter in the same year that he was playing in college to start the season. Again, it doesn't work like that. You don't just go from college to an above average MLB hitter in the same season.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot different than what 4 months ago, 5 months ago, the pitching I was facing. I wouldn't say it's like 100% harder. It's still the game of baseball. You're still, that his objective is to get you out in the batter's box, and my objective is to get on base as a hitter. The same objectives going. I would say the pace of play is definitely a lot faster. The ball tends to move a little bit more from pitchers in the MLB. It's just, everybody's better, and it's just adjusting to what they have and finding what pitch they're most likely going to throw was my biggest adjustment, and kind of just sitting that as a leadoff and working ways on base.
He also did something almost no one has ever done. Nolan played 29 big league games in 2023. He got on base in every single one of them, against even more All-Stars too. Luis Castillo, Alexis Diaz, Kodai Senga, painfully, all of whom Nolan got on base against this season. He'll have to go just a little bit longer to match the all-time record, but he's got time to do that coming into next season. Oh yeah, don't forget, we've spent so much time talking about his past accomplishments and not enough acknowledging that he'll just be 22 years old on opening day next season. The future is very bright. He's got room to get even better, particularly in the power hitting department. Nolan was no stranger to hitting nukes at FAU, but he'd be the first to tell you that he wants to work more on hitting for power in the majors. Well, at least that's what he told me to my face.
Yeah, I definitely struggled reaching that power potential, and it was something I was working on every day in the cages, on the field, but I got a lot of things I needed to work on, and that's exactly what I'm doing in the off-season now. Just working on the things that I felt that I could develop a lot better, whether it was hitting for power, stealing bases, just completely focused on that.
That doesn't mean he didn't have moments of power though. A little under a month into his big league career, he did manage to crank out his first big league home run.
Oh, there's a shot at first home run. Field. Schanuel sends Carpenter back, and it's gone! The first major league home run for Nolan Schanuel.
Finally being able to get one out of the yard, just weight lifted off my shoulders, rounding the bases, like hearing the crowd and getting in, getting the silent treatment, and just having a little fun, messing with everybody. It was awesome. It's a surreal moment. Like going back, I had to watch the video like 5 or 6 times to like actually comprehend that it happened. So it was one of the best feelings ever.
Is a samurai helmet as cool as it looks?
Oh yeah, 100%. It was a little big on me. In the video, you could see it going over my eyes, but it was awesome being able to wear.
I'm very pleased to report that Nolan has bigger goals than just one big league home run in 29 solid games, though. He wants to win a World Series. He wants a successful career as a whole. I'll raise baseball fans this real quick. The focus on the LA Angels right now is that Shohei Ohtani is expected to leave as a free agent. And that's gonna suck for everyone around the Angels and their fan base. They do have reasons to be excited though. Nolan is working to get even better. He's still blessed enough to spend time around and learn from the best player of his generation, the second best Mike to ever come out of New Jersey baseball. And his new manager has taken 2 teams to the World Series and won another one with the Braves 2 years ago as a coach. He was also played by this guy in Moneyball.
It's not that hard, Scott. Tell him, Wash.
It's incredibly hard.
I, for one, am excited to see the rest of Nolan's career take shape. I'm totally biased because I've seen him up close more than my fair share, but I hope now that you see one of baseball's most interesting young talents as exactly that. And yet, he is in no way settling for it. He's not done, and you gotta love that.
I want to win a pennant, want to make it to the World Series, want to win a World Series. Just all team-oriented goals right now. This is step one. This has been a lifelong dream of mine, and being able to check one check box off the list has been amazing. But there's a lot to go. So I'm just going to continue to work, and hopefully I'm hoping a long fought career, and see where it goes from there.